Hello, everybody. Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to another jam-packed episode of Beyond the Credits. This week we're talking about Batman v Superman, and some of our panelists we were given the opportunity to see the movie early, so we're talking about that a little bit later. We're also analyzing the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. But first, I'd like to introduce our lovely group of panelists today. To my right, we have the host of our very own Tonight's the Night, Mr. Chris Nielsen.
Good
How you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
That's good. Also,
it's casual.
casual Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Also, we have the guy who's always having a magical day, Mr. Chris Mark City.
Okay.
How are you doing? The first time on the show.
Yeah, it's fun being here.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
far.
So far?
Hope for
Okay.
the best.
So yeah, fingers crossed. And Miles Morales' less talented older brother, Mr. Carlton Carter.
Hello, everyone. I can't believe you let me on the show 2
Yeah,
weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. You must be doing something right? All right, let's start off with some movie news, shall we? Let's go into that. First, Daisy Ridley is in talks of being in the next Lara Croft Tomb Raider. She's playing Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider movie. How do you think about that?
I like it because, I mean, when some of the stars in Star Wars always have that, or big franchises always have that kind of, I don't know, they might fall off the map after
Right.
Star Wars, only be attached to that Star Wars role.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford got away from it.
True,
Mark Hamill
yeah.
really didn't. It's good that after the first movie that she's done, that she's already trying to see what else beyond Star Wars she can do in her career.
Yeah, I'll say as for Tomb Raider itself, I think with what they're going, if they're going with her, I feel like they're going to go with the younger Lara Croft based
Right.
off the newer series of video games. It'd be nice seeing the unexperienced Lara Croft as opposed to Angelina Jolie's
And she's
you know,
definitely older.
seasoned
Yeah,
explorer.
yeah, exactly.
Daisy Ridley's a smart, beautiful woman. I'm not going to tell her what to do.
I'm not gonna tell her what to do.
But no, when I heard the news, it sounded right. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't feel
exactly,
forced.
yeah.
It felt like, oh, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I agree. Like, she's definitely like when I hear Daisy Ridley and Tomb Raider in the same sentence, I'm like, I can buy it.
Yeah.
I can follow with that. All right, so moving on to more from new Star Wars stars to I guess older ones. We have the short list for the new young Han Solo movie. I'm assuming it's down to these three fellas right here. The movie is directed by the Phil
Lord and Chris Miller.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
From
And-
Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have So here's our short list right now.
Mhm.
So we definitely have the guy who's shocked us all in the Kingsman movie.
Yeah, he was really good.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Kingsman.
Yeah, he was surprising.
Too
Yeah.
bad he's British, though. Can't even do it.
Well, I mean, they're definitely
He can do it.
they're approaching definitely obviously younger Han Solo. He has to be
Yeah.
witty, has to be stuff like that. And then Taron Egerton, who played the main character in Kingsman,
Mhm.
he was a good. He had that charm to him.
Yeah,
That he
he
could
did.
easily pass off as
Yeah,
young
yeah.
Han Solo. But Mr. Carlton Carter, you're having issues with his.
Look, all
Anybody
I'm
can do an
saying-
American accent.
Anyone can do an American accent, but Han Solo is a definitive American character.
Okay.
Like, it was cool when they took Peter Parker.
from outer space,
I
man.
get it.
Also in the running, we have the what's his name?
Jack
Jack Rayner, who was I guess the most popular from Transformers Extinction, the guy in the middle.
Metal. Okay.
Yes, and so I don't really know much of his filmography after that. He seems like he could be. He has a look. I think they all have the look, but
I don't know. I don't think any of them really can. I don't know. Harrison Ford's face is really distinctive. I just
Yeah,
don't
it
see
is.
it in any of these. I don't-
Very
yeah.
true. And also to the very far to the left side. Started from the left. We have the name is. You want to say that one, Mark City? You had the best pronunciation before the show.
It's Alden Ehrenreich. I think.
I'll take it. I'll
Okay.
take that. So yes,
Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds about right. And his most popular film credit was this recently Hail Caesar.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right.
He was good in it, but I think he's too pretty. He's too pretty.
Too
for-
pretty.
Well, did you hear what Harrison Ford said about it?
No,
He just said to the young Han Solo actors, "Don't do it."
don't. Oh wow.
That was his advice. I
Okay.
think he was on Ellen, and he just said, "Don't do it."
Okay.
Which is interesting coming from him. I don't know. Even though it seemed like he didn't want to do it. He wanted to get rid of
Right.
Han Solo character for a while. But it's just interesting that that's the advice that he's given these.
All right, so let's move on from there. We have Terminator 6. Arnold Schwarzenegger says it's still happening. Do we need it to still happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Why?
we do. Terminator's a great franchise.
Okay.
And they've been flubbing it. Look, Terminator
Yeah.
1, good movie. Terminator
Right.
2, great movie. Terminator 3, all right movie. Salvation, I enjoyed Salvation. The ending, where I'm not going to spoil what the twist should have been. But according to one, and Genesis is a compilation of the best moments. I think Terminator has a lot of like ground and just it plays on America's fear. I think what they need to do is move away from the nostalgia of an 80s
So
Terminator.
get rid of Arnold.
Oh yeah, gotta get rid of
I gotta get rid of
I
him.
think can't talk. They're playing too much, trying to go towards the 80s movie. Yeah, what you were
Yeah.
saying, the 80s movie, the whole style, the whole thing. They're going back to the previous Terminator 2, really, that timeline,
Right.
just to be able to.
Because it was most popular in the
It
franchise.
was most popular,
right.
and that's what people loved, and I feel
Right.
like that's why they went back to it. Which, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd like to see them do something that's new.
Okay, all right. So we're open to another Terminator, maybe not with Arnold, just a different direction. Correct.
I'd give it one more chance.
One more chance. I agree with that. One more chance. All right. Moving on from there, we have. It was posted, or it was not posted, but it was from the directors are saying that we might have 3 end credit scenes for Captain America: Civil War.
That is a lot.
Is that overdoing it? Like, I mean, Avengers did 2. They kind of we were all expecting one at the end, not one at the middle. But now we having 3. Where are you gonna put all that? I feel like it's like excessive.
I don't know. I think Ant-Man had 2, right? They had the wasp stinger at the in the middle or before the main credits.
Right,
And then
right,
at the
yes,
very, very
yeah.
end of the credits. What do they have again?
Civil War.
Civil War. Yeah.
I think they can fit 3. I mean, a lot of them especially there's always one that's just very, very short.
Right.
So I think they can fit in 3
But is
depending
it
on how they.
necessary? Do we need 3 end credit scenes?
I don't know what they're teasing. What are they gonna tease?
Exactly.
I do know they're gonna tease Black Panther
Okay.
for his own movie.
Okay.
They're gonna tease Thanos.
Okay.
That's number 2.
Of course.
And then the third one is going
Stephen
to be
Strange?
probably Stephen Strange.
Okay. All right.
Or Howard the Duck again.
It just depends on how they do it. I don't know
Right.
how they'll space it out either.
Yeah,
Because it already
it's
seemed like
odd, yeah.
putting 2 is
Exactly,
a little bit. Yeah.
It's a little weird. All right, moving on from there. Batman v Superman. They already said that there's going to be a director's cut for the Blu-ray. It's going to be 30 minutes longer, and it's going to be rated R. Why didn't we get a rated R theatrical cut? What we're hiding here?
Studio.
Studio. You think it's a studio?
Studios always like to be in that sweet
Thir-
spot of PG-13.
13.
They'll get more tickets that way. I think it's as simple as that.
Do you think that we, as a rated, do you think rated R rating is due to the success of Deadpool?
I say no only because Zack Snyder came out to say no, that they were
Okay.
planning on a rated R cut, or not necessarily. It wasn't like they were planning on making it rated R. It's when they gave it to it to be rated.
Right.
They were like, this is R.
Right.
You need to cut this out. So the things that they said were gonna make it R, they just took out. So, I think it's just a coincidence.
Okay.
So
I'd like to hear what those things were because I could definitely see aspects that they could have gotten a lot darker, a lot more R-rated. I think it would have been nice to see.
Okay. Any thoughts?
I didn't see the movie. Did it feel like it could go another 30 minutes? No spoilers.
It could have. But
could've?
we're gonna get more into that later.
Okay.
So, but
Hey,
but
hey.
we're gonna get a little bit more into Batman v Superman later. But as of right now, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we are gonna be talking about the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. We're gonna go deep inside of it, see what we can pull out from it when we return.
Experience the sea, art, lifestyle, travel. This is
At 10 merchants down here in the main market hall with a variety from bread to coffee to cheesemonger to plants, just kind of quite a variety, all individually owned businesses. In the back, we have a 4-station commissary kitchen. Commissary kitchens are a place where you can kind of graduate from
DC Comics brand new superhero collection. Oh no! Central City is under attack from Captain Cold. Luckily, the Flash is here to stop him. Captain Cold is no match for the Flash. The Green Arrow needs the Flash's help. The evil Deathstroke is trying to take over the city. The Green Arrow and Black Canary are here to stop him. Deathstroke is too strong to beat alone. With teamwork, they can defeat Deathstroke once and for all. Our heroes have saved the city. DC Comics Superhero Collection. Each figure sold separately.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Welcome back, movie lovers. We are here, and last Thursday, the Fox released the new X-Men Apocalypse trailer, and I think we can all say that we have mixed feelings about it. Are we good? Are we feeling good about it?
A lot of good from.
All right, let's go check it out. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. All right, so what do you think we like from that so far? Looks like Magneto's given out a little bit of a threat to Professor X and his students. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? I mean, it's nothing uncommon.
No,
yeah. But
they're always batting heads.
They're always batting heads. Exactly.
I like seeing Jean Grey and Cyclops. I like how, even though they're the younger cast, that they are going to show them pretty prominently. That's good because I like those characters.
Like that they're bringing in the classic, like original X-Men.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, so this is kind of a little bit of an intro to Apocalypse here. We're getting like a brief origin story.
It's Poe Dameron.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. This is before he was. Oh, this is before or after he was Poe Dameron.
Is it?
Was
yeah, this is Apocalypse. Yeah,
it's Apocalypse. Yes. The first little glimpse here, and we don't see him in full costume yet, but this is almost describing his origin in this trailer of they had like the four horsemen and stuff like that. Let's see what else we have. Bryan Singer, the guy who pretty much saves the X-Men series, if you
but
ask
also
me.
kind of messed it up too.
Well, he messed up his own franchise.
Yeah.
So I mean, but he built it. He can mess it up if he wants to.
Look, at this point, I trust in Bryan Singer.
That's the Star Wars argument.
Yeah, that's very true. But I mean, I'm happy that he's actually on board.
Yeah,
I like that he's part of it. We have a little bit of him casting his four horsemen here. This looks our first image of a Storm.
Mm-hmm. I like that Storm. That Storm looks good.
We get another introduction back into the facility. Of course, the actor, we don't know what that is. There we go. Our first. Oh, what do you think of the costume? I know there's a lot of people who are not into the costume.
At first, they got the comments that he looked like Ivan Ooze from the first Power Rangers movie.
Oh,
and he did kind of look like that, but I think that what's going to save it is, it looks pretty cool, but I think what's going to save it is Oscar Isaac's performance.
Okay, I agree.
Because I really respect him as an actor.
Right.
And I think he can nail it. But at first, it was the costume.
It was a little bit
wasn't really.
The color even seemed like. The color of his skin, I think, seemed off too, which I know is one of the things that people complained about.
Okay, let's see what else we have here.
It's racist.
Drop every. I mean, if that's not more of a way to join my team, I kill everybody behind you. Yeah. And like, all right.
That's intimidating.
All right, I'll do it.
You can see why Magneto's like, okay, I'll be on your side.
I'll do it. All right, calm down.
It's not really being given a choice.
Yeah, no, he's like, you're doing this now. I'm like, okay. Here we go. We got a little.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have our. I think there's a better shot later, but here's our first glimpse of Angel, and it looks like in the back we have her name escapes. Psylocke. Yes.
It looks like he's already become Archangel.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like it.
With the
We're
metal
getting
wings.
there, yes.
Yeah.
Boom. There we are. Here's our first official glimpse of a younger Storm, not played by Halle Berry. I think it's the first time someone besides her is playing the role.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Apocalypse, but Storm, Psylocke, Angel, even Jubilee.
Yeah.
Oh, they nailed it.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
Yeah.
And they look that the costumes look literally right out of the comics.
I love the mohawk.
That's what I like
the
that they're
new-
doing
yeah.
is they're not going for the gritty realistic stuff.
Right.
They're going with the comic, the iconic suits that they all wore.
Right.
And the have you seen the way they're being introduced, the stylized entrances of all these the
Yeah,
four
yeah,
horsemen?
exactly.
That's gonna be really interesting because I
Yes.
don't think we've seen that many. We've seen some stylistic kind of shots
Right.
before in maybe Days of Future Past and First Class.
Right.
But these just really interest me,
Well,
especially Psylocke's
This
coming
is
up.
definitely the movie that is now almost. I mean, Days of Future Past
Mm-hmm.
brought the old and the new, but this one's actually bringing in. All right, here are the characters that you grew up with in the
Yeah.
movies, and now we're seeing them actually fighting now, or we're seeing them. They're actually forming the X-Men that we know and love.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we have. There's Magneto doing his thing. Okay, so here's a good shot of we have Apocalypse and his four horsemen literally right behind him. We have Angel, Magneto. I can't say her name correctly.
Psylocke.
Psylocke. I'm gonna get it before the end of the show. And Storm, and they're all he's just I'm just doing my thing. I'm doing some bad stuff, and we're behind you doing bad things. That's the way I see it.
Is Storm just chilling?
Yeah, she's being all
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
She's sitting there, all cat.
And there he is, just creating havoc all over. And Magneto, he's there, and everyone's all concerned. There's our first look into Beast, Human Beast, and Quicksilver.
He still can never decide.
Yeah, he's still having issues. Another look into Jean Grey.
I really like that casting.
Yes, I do. Oh, look, nukes are going off. That's not good for anything.
But nukes go off in
Mystique.
every X-Men movie.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence coming
Yeah.
back as Mystique, no surprise there. I feel like because Jennifer Lawrence is given that star power, Mystique is given a bigger role than she typically gets in the comics.
It's true.
But
Especially in the first movie, she didn't get anything. She was a very side character. Almost
exactly,
no dialogue.
yeah. And now she's front running Days of Future Past. She looks like she has a lot of screen time in this trailer. Let's move on from here. A lot of chaos is going on. The introduction of the X-Wing and Quicksilver.
For a second, I thought his shirt had Captain America.
That would have been great. But yes, Quicksilver looks like still living in this basement, and it looks like he's preparing to get some. He's preparing to suit up for action.
Get the high score on Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
definitely.
anything, if this
If
scene
anything
in
goes
Days of
down-
Future Past is anything to indicate what he's going to do in this one, and the shots coming up, I'm very excited for Quicksilver. to
Yes,
go
I
in this.
am. I definitely excited for what I
Yeah.
see here. Looks like we're going into some giant man action over here. He grow in size.
Tossing
He
like
just
a
tosses,
ragdoll.
yeah, just like right here,
Flexing his mutant
just tossing like a rag doll, literally. And then just more chaos, and here's here's a Quicksilver, like the nice view that we saw from Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
We're getting more of his action, like definitely not what's the
Like a GoPro. almost.
GoPro cam, like literally just sitting right there. It looks
He's a
great.
fan of Rush, apparently.
The team, like they're all right. Oh, we got a little
Is
bit of
in
Angel and did we get
Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler? There he is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Awesome.
And we had him in X2. We're getting him again, a younger version. I think he didn't get his justice in X2,
No,
and we're gonna get hopefully a better presence from him. Moving on from there. Definitely Psylocke. Is that
Yes.
Beast? It looks
Yeah,
like
versus
Beast.
Beast,
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like it's Beast. They wouldn't make any. Yeah, it looks like it's Beast. Striker.
Striker's back, yeah. Now that shot right there, Magneto, looked to me like Ian McKellen the first time I saw it.
Oh,
That brief
really?
glimpse, which is
Oh.
awesome in the helmet. I never thought Michael Fassbender looked too much like Ian McKellen, except in that one shot. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
As we wrapping up here, definitely the team, everyone's doing their action. Boom, Cyclops making it hopefully a better appearance. He was he's in the X-Men trilogy. He was in
Didn't do him justice.
no, didn't
Not
do.
at all.
Hopefully this will bring him back in a better way.
He better be the captain. They better do him justice and make.
No,
him
Havik's gonna take
He's a
that
kid
role,
in this
man.
one though, so it's gonna be a
Okay,
little
yeah,
bit.
so
There's
I hope
Psylocke
they
from
build
here.
up to it then.
And then Archangel looks like we have Beast, Cyclops, and Jean Grey defending, and it looks great. Havoc really looks like destroying the
Creating havoc.
Creating havoc, destroying his Cerebro, yes. And it just looks like, I don't know, a lot of stuff's going on. I'm excited to see what's happening next, and definitely there it is, X-Men Apocalypse.
Is Wolverine in this movie?
Maybe he might be a brief cameo.
I'm not sure. Stryker is, I mean, there's always a possibility.
Yeah.
So that was the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. I think we're all good feelings about it. Coming back after the break, we're going to have our full discussion on Batman v Superman. I can't wait to have this discussion. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. We are aware of the issues, and we're fixing it right now. So hopefully we get things acclimated after the break. So see you after that.
See ya.
Experience the sea, art, lifestyle, travel. This is Seek to See More.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully we have all our technical difficulties fixed by this time. Who knows?
I love when you say technical difficulties.
Thank you. I have a hard time saying it myself. But in the movie business, there's always technical difficulties.
That's true.
Well, they fix it. But this is live. We don't fix live.
No.
Anyway, moving on from
apologize.
that, we are talking about Batman v Superman, the most anticipated movie of March. Or, well, I can't say for 2016 because a lot of great movies coming out. I can't, but definitely from March, everyone's looking forward to Batman v Superman. Myself, Chris Nielsen, and Chris Mark City had the pleasure of watching an advanced screening of the movie. Sorry, Carlton.
You weren't invited.
So this is definitely going to be a spoiler-free discussion here, but we definitely want to hit some high points. So, Carlton, from the person who hasn't seen the movie yet, what do you expect to see from this movie? What are you hoping for? What are your plans, your goals? Give me.
What are my goals?
What are your goals of this movie?
I want to get a large popcorn.
Okay, all right. I like it. I like
But
it.
not from your goals.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am hoping for an average movie. I don't
Okay.
expect this movie to be spectacular. I expect it to be visually thrilling. Zack Snyder only makes visually thrilling movies. I like Watchmen. I like I don't know. I was gonna say Sucker Punch, and then I realized it was a lie.
300. You like 300?
I like 300.
Okay, 300. There you go. 300. Yeah, I've seen Sucker Punch.
No, but I'm really hoping that this movie just delivers on building the universe. I'm really excited to see Wonder Woman's performance. That's what
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to most in this film. Superman, I am intrigued by the way they're setting everyone against Superman. Either they're set against him or they think he's a god, and that really, I find that very compelling.
Okay.
Batman, look, Ben Affleck can act. I assume it'll be good. Everyone's gonna like Batman. Now, what I want to know from you guys is Is Rotten Tomatoes lying to me? Is this movie good?
Currently, Rotten Tomatoes is giving the Batman v Superman a 41%, which is really, really low, and that's not good.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. The movie's not out yet, so the number definitely is not a set in stone number. But just going online here, Mark City, what was your opinion, without giving away to anything, about the movie and how it was set up, and what were your views about it?
I thought it was a lot better than I expected. I as you know, I try to avoid the trailers, and
Right.
I saw trailer, I think it was 2, and I felt like that gave away just too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I actually watched it was nice seeing, like, there were certain things that I thought was going to play out one way, and it ended up playing out in a completely different way. And so just overall, I liked the way that they set it up, and I like what they delivered.
Okay. Chris? Nielsen?
I feel this. I mean, I don't have as negative of an opinion, I guess, as the consensus is right now.
Okay, like based on what we see on the
but
internet.
Again, I
right.
went in with lower expectations. I was looking more forward to, like, watching, Civil War or whatnot. I mean, I don't want to try to compare them right now, but
Right.
Yeah, thank you. But no, I thought that I didn't like Man of Steel.
Okay.
And so going off of that, I was expecting something like that, and I got something better than Man of Steel.
Okay.
That's what I can say of it. I think they I think their performances did a great job. We can go into that. I don't know if, like, individually,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I really liked Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Okay. We're gonna talk
yeah.
about that later in this, but the overall consensus of the movie.
It was good.
It was
It's
good,
something to
okay.
see. I think
Okay.
people should see it.
Okay, right, definitely.
I don't think it's as spectacular as
Right.
they were,
As a bystander, that's exactly what I want to hear.
Yes.
Also, Chris Nosen, better than Man of Steel.
That's not it's not easy to. I mean, it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy.
I wanted to be on the box. Better than Man of Steel.
I personally enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was definitely better than Man of Steel. They definitely established world building. We see that. I see this movie as the start of DC's DC universe. Like, just as Iron Man was the start of the MCU, this movie is the start of I guess the DCU. I guess the DCU. Yeah. And so I'm happy with what I got. I'm satisfied with what I got. I'm thrilled. It's definitely, some points of the movie were epic.
Mm-hmm.
Others fell short, and it just, I mean, there were definitely it definitely had problems with the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I still enjoyed for what we got from it.
Yeah. I think that maybe a problem with what's happened so far in Zack Snyder's DC movies is it feels like the thing that happens at the end, the major plot point of the movie, without, of course, giving anything away.
Mm-hmm.
But in Man of Steel, it was a catalyst for what was going to be happening in Batman vs. Superman.
Right, yes.
And then Batman vs. Superman just feels like another catalyst for what's going to happen in the future. So I get why they need to, keep on perpetuating, like, the story's going to still go on and keep on, like, come back for the next adventure. Of course they're going to do that, but it feels like it's just too much, like, oh great, now what's going to happen next?
So are you saying, like, almost at, like, where Age of Ultron kind of, a lot of people kind of had some issues with Age of Ultron in that it was setting up all these other movies?
I mean, it was setting up other movies. Don't get me wrong.
They did a good job.
They did a good, I did
Mm-hmm.
a better job than Age of Ultron did.
I think so.
I thought so. I mean, I do agree with you that you kind of said it. I like that Man of Steel. A lot of people had these problems with it, and even like the director Zack Snyder, who directed both of these, said, "You know what? I recognize the problem. I hear the people. Now we're gonna establish this problem." And you can even see in the trailers. Metropolis was getting destroyed. Thousands of people, maybe millions of people, were dying in that whole final battle scene. And literally in the beginning, in the beginning of the trailer, we see that that's where Bruce Wayne is.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah, and he's concerning about it. But we're gonna get more into this conversation when we come back from our break. We're definitely not over in this topic, so stay tuned and enjoy more commercials from our UCF students.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF apps today.
DC Comics brand new superhero collection. Oh no! Central City is under attack from Captain Cold. Luckily, the Flash is here to stop him. Captain Cold is no match for the Flash. The Green Arrow needs the Flash's help. The evil Deathstroke is trying to take over the city. The Green Arrow and Black Canary are here to stop him. Deathstroke is too strong to beat alone. With teamwork, they can defeat Deathstroke once and for all. Our heroes have saved the city. DC Comics Superhero Collection. Each figure sold separately.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Welcome back, everybody. We're still on the topic of Batman v Superman. We haven't left it. We're still talking about it during the commercial break. I actually want to get back to you, Carlton. For the person who hasn't seen the movie before, what are your biggest hopes for this movie? What do you want to come out of it? And like, you know what? If I see this scene, I see this in particular, I'm going to be thrilled. I'm going to be happy. I'm glad I went to go see Batman v Superman.
Well, I want to see Wonder Woman kicking some butt.
Okay.
I want to go get myself a Wonder Woman t-shirt and rep that all day. Now, I really want to see this movie be successful and set up characters that I want to see in other movies. I want to see them in solo films.
Okay.
And people are really concerned about the DC universe and world building, but this isn't the first time they've done this. Correct. People always forget they've done the DC animated universe. We started off with Batman the animated series. We spun off to Superman the animated series, which is Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, etc. And it was fantastic. DC, in my personal opinion, has been kicking the butt of Marvel as far as television goes for decades.
Yeah, television
I
and
agree.
animation, they're
Definitely
doing far
television
better.
definitely has always been a strong suit for DC. Movies, they've been struggling. And, I mean, I think they had a good run with Nolan's Batman, but other than that, there's nothing been significant.
Green Lantern was significantly bad.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they're having a rough time. They're trying to do this new world building for it. So you're just looking for Wonder Woman just to kick some butt. So you're excited to see Wonder Woman in this. I
want to see Wonder Woman. I want to see how this whole Jesse. You guys have seen the movie. I want to see how this whole Jesse Eisenberg.
I don't think you'll be disappointed with Wonder Woman in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have that to be excited about.
I have seen good Batman films. I've seen good Superman films.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman get her shot in the spotlight.
Right. Okay.
You know
that makes sense.
I wish she had more due in the movie.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, the title is Batman v Superman. That's not much of a giveaway. I mean, to my opinion, anyway.
Honestly, it probably should have been called, after seeing it, it probably just should have been called Dawn of Justice.
I agree. I agree. Definitely agree that the Batman v Superman is just a ploy there. But let's just talk it more a little bit in depth for it. Let's first talk about the Batman himself, Ben Affleck. What do you expect? I'll go back to you, Carlton. We'll go down the line.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect from his performance? I mean, I know there's a lot of people have been ragging on him for it. What are you hoping for?
I don't hold anything against Ben Affleck. A lot of people like to bring up Daredevil.
Right.
Look, that movie wasn't good. He could have made that better. He looks good from the trailers. I like how jaded he is. I like how he probably lost to Robin. I enjoyed that we have an older Batman. That costume is super sexy. Doesn't look as good as Daisy Ridley, but we're close second.
We're a close second. Daisy Ridley and then the Batman costume. Yeah,
and Storm somewhere in between.
Yeah, and the Storm. Yeah,
you put Daisy Ridley in a Batman costume. Oh my goodness.
Mark City, what do you feel about Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman?
I really liked his Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
I felt like he was like one of the stronger Bruce Waynes that I've seen in the films.
Okay.
It's going down the line. I mean, Clooney, I didn't really feel his Bruce Wayne. And
George
Bale?
Clooney.
George Clooney.
aka the Cloon.
Not everybody's privy to your cute little nicknames. For George Clooney, right?
So yeah, I think he did a much better Bruce Wayne, even more so than from Dark Knight.
Okay, Christian Bale.
Yeah. As for his Batman, I liked that as well. It's definitely different. I feel like he has more range of movement than any of the previous Batmans. Like I saw briefly Michael Keaton, and I noticed that he turns like the entire way. Like he has no movement. It's very difficult for Batman to move in the first Batman movie. Seeing in this one, he can like grapple and he can like move from like, opponent to opponent and like take them down one by one quickly. It's cool being able to see him to do that. It seems like it's taking a lot of references from like the Arkham series.
Right, Nielsen.
I think his again, like Chris was saying, his Bruce Wayne was more dynamic than Christian Bale's was, but I have a problem with how they were portraying Batman.
Okay. So Bruce Wayne,
without giving anything away, because
right.
I don't want to, but there are just some things that I feel like some people that are really attached to Batman and what his principles are and what we've seen so far in comics and stuff like that are just going to be kind of taken aback at certain parts of how they're kind of portraying Batman and certain things actions that he's doing, but also kind of his behavior as well. They added a little bit more wit and humor to him, which is welcome. It's nice,
right?
But it doesn't really go with the the brooding, gritty veteran that's kind of jaded by a possible a lot of atrocities that happen in Gotham.
Right.
They've set that up in the trailers and whatnot, and you still see that. It's just it's a little inconsistent.
I think I kind of agree with what you guys are saying. I did like his Bruce Wayne. I thought it was a really good portrayal of Bruce Wayne, definitely dynamic. Honestly, I've seen a better Batman before, and so that's just my opinion.
But that's a huge compliment, because I've never heard anyone compliment a Bruce Wayne ever. It's like
it's interesting. He made Bruce Wayne interesting in a way that it never was for me for Christian Bale.
Right.
I always want to be watching.
Agree,
we always want to be watching Heath Ledger whenever he came on screen. His screen presence was not what Christian Bale's was in the Nolan trilogy.
Okay, let's move on to our Carlos and Carlos' favorite character so far. I mean, that's the most you're excited for.
Yeah, that's the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I said favorite. Yeah, definitely most excited for this movie. How can we say that how she was in the movie? I know, I can honestly say that she wasn't a big part of this movie, but I didn't want her to be, because that's not what the title is, and that's what the movie is about. But she definitely was in there, and she did kick some butt. So what can we say other than that, Mark City?
I'm trying to think like non-spoilery right now.
Maybe Nielsen then, if anything. I know that's.
I like the way that that they set up. They kind of set up a little ties to connections to Wonder Woman solo film, which I think is the only other DC movie right now that's really gaining so much traction.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they have a director already. They have most of the cast. So I like how they're aware of how Wonder Woman solo film is going to fit in place.
Right.
So I really like that and her performance as well. So.
Okay.
I like how when they have her with all the classic equipment, the shield, the sword, and the rope.
It's almost like she was a character who needed no introduction.
Yeah.
Almost.
And you knew that
especially since she hasn't had like a major film of her own.
Right.
Like, we've seen Batman have plenty in the past few years. We've even seen Superman's like has a bunch of movies.
It's almost like
it was interesting that the one that had the fewest movies was the one that just came in and everybody's like, I get that.
Yeah,
like,
and even the trailer, she's like, is she with you? Like, I thought she was with you. And then that's it. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
And then like, boom, ready for action. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Moving on to the darker side of things, we have Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
I have.
Carlton, what do you expect to see his character? Are you worried about Lex Luthor?
I'm not worried about
Lex
Luthor.
Okay.
Look, I grew up on the DC animated universe, so he's not that Lex Luthor, but I'm fine with him being like a tech mogul and being like future. It feels right for the movie and the things they are doing. Like I'm excited. I haven't seen him bald yet in the trailer. I want to see how that happens. That's what I'm most interested in when it
How-
comes to Lex
how he
Luthor.
gets bald.
How does he get bald?
After the show, I'll tell you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, eventually he does become bald.
Oh,
Obviously.
spoilers.
Well, I mean, he's bald right there.
Well, I mean, you can't see the top of his head.
Oh, come on! It's there. He's bald. You can tell there's no hair there. So that you're looking forward to how he becomes bald. That's it.
I mean, look, I didn't show up to watch Lex Luthor. I showed up to watch me some Batman, some Superman, some Wonder Woman.
So his portrayal, Mark City.
There were parts of it I really liked. There were parts of it that I didn't feel like it fit the character. But overall, I liked the mind that they gave him.
Okay.
That's my favorite part of the character that they did, and his portrayal is his mind, is Lex's mind, and like the way he thinks and the way he plans.
I think what he means by that is like the how his whole like he obviously is the villain of
Right,
this.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not,
see,
they're
yeah,
not trying to paint Superman as a villain or Batman
Right,
as a villain,
yeah.
obviously. But it's like the way his schemes and his into his mind.
He's very
permeates
calculating.
The plot of the entire thing. It's very interesting to see what his motivations are, just the same as Batman's or Superman's. But the only problem I have with his performance is they did make him that erratic little like kind of his Mark Zuckerberg-esque like from Social Network.
Yeah.
That kind of annoying little executive. Yeah, young
Right, yeah.
kind of.
It's definitely a
kid.
younger Lex Luthor, definitely.
And that
yeah.
was fine, but what they turned him into was like Joker Jr. Because they kind of it's something that it wasn't really seen in the trailers is how like psychotic he actually like becomes in the movie, and it just seemed a little bit at times. I don't know if I was watching like a Joker origin story or something like that, or I don't know.
That's not what I want to hear.
But
I personally enjoyed. I was actually surprised. I had my doubts with Jesse Eisenberg being Lex Luthor, but when it came in to the actual movie, I was like, wow, okay, I buy it.
Yeah.
I'm buying what he's dishing out. I mean, he definitely was a good villain. Definitely, he put the pieces in motion for the story to move forward, and it made sense. So that definitely brings that dynamic into this whole thing. Yeah.
But then there was a point where it just kind of dropped off, and it feels like they weren't really like it wasn't the Lex Luthor that
right.
I'm used to.
All right, when we come back, we're going to wrap up our Batman v Superman discussion, and maybe if we have a little more time, we'll get into more history of the movie showdowns. So, after this.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Lake Claire's Universities of Central Florida's place for relaxation, tranquility, and a good time. Students who crave the outdoors can experience the wonders of Lake Claire and all the benefits it has to offer. Lake Claire offers a wide variety of kayaks, wakeboards, canoes, and much, much more. All of this is free for UCF students and can be rented out every day of the year except for on football game days. Students can take advantage of the wide open spaces and throw around a frisbee with your friends, or attack the ball with our sandy volleyball court. Come by the dock, sit down, and enjoy the beautiful view of Lake Claire's clear blue waters. Located just off the side of Gemini Boulevard and Greek Park Drive, this bubble of nature is one you must check out after finals week. For more information and rentals, visit our website so you can enjoy Lake Claire today.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So now we're about to wrap up our discussion here for Batman v Superman. Let's talk a little about world building. I thought they did a really good job world building as far as setting up the DCU. What are you expecting for as far as?
I feel like you asked me this question like
I know. I mean,
no, it's fine. What am I expecting? I don't know. I expect a lot of fallout from this movie. But I was reading an interview that says Justice League is going to be more uplifting and fun. So maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I hear that's one of the complaints that people had about it is that it's not as fun as it should be.
The Batman v Superman.
Batman vs Superman didn't have the fun aspect of. I mean, it was everybody was giddy about seeing their two, some of their most favorite heroes clash, but it just didn't have the fun in places that it could have. It was very like an opera sometimes.
It was definitely a dark movie. I mean, the DC and dark is like hand in hand.
No, well, I mean, it's becoming that way. It doesn't have to be, but that's what they're comfortable with.
Well,
that's what they're sitting in.
Yeah, that's where it's sitting. I mean, it definitely was a darker movie than say Marvel's approach.
True. But I think they're starting to realize that maybe they should
lighten up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean,
if we can branch into the CW verse for just a second. They started Arrow off as a very dark show, and then they realized that that's not what fans wanted. They wanted it to be more like whimsical light, and they've slowly been progressing the character into a more...
That's why Flash was doing better than Arrow was for a while, because it had that kind of levity.
Fun.
That Arrow just seemed to lack most of the time. So,
but I agree with Chris, I don't think DC is inherently that dark. I think the Christopher Nolan films made people think, oh, DC's so edgy, DC's so gritty. But, The Flash is not gritty.
No, it's not.
Superman until Man of Steel is not gritty. I don't care for this portrayal of Superman. I like my Superman to wear underwear over his pants and be a Boy Scout.
He needs to be a Boy Scout.
I mean, Batman's the only character, not the only character, question and people. But, I mean, DC is still fun, and it's lively, and it's energetic. The Green Lantern Corps shouldn't be, pondering on mountaintops. They should be fighting with their giant pig friends.
There's so many DC characters that we haven't seen cinematically that if they put them in, people would be like, "This is more outrageous than some things I've seen in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy."
Yeah,
right.
Because
that was
they
definitely
really are some bizarro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Characters in DC that I think the mainstream audiences aren't really aware of. That's why when they kind of painted all their movies with the theme of Batman or the feel of Batman, that everybody just kind of assumed that Superman needs to be that way as well. And then Man of Steel came out, they kind of gave him that, and that was a complaint.
How do you feel like they're building the universe as far as what we've seen from the movie, without giving away too much? How was that? I know it's a little bit difficult, but how do you feel like they're building upon that? I said,
it is hard to say without giving anything away, but it was smooth. It was what you'd expect them to. I mean, knowing that a Justice League movie is coming next,
right?
You need to expect that they have some sort of awareness in this movie of who could possibly be on that team, and I think they did a good job of doing that. It wasn't something that took too far away from the main plot. It was still part of the main plot, and it was quick but effective.
Yeah, and
that was without giving anything away again.
I haven't seen the movie, but
Right.
DC has a luxury that Marvel did not have. People credit Marvel for going through individual solo films and building up. But Marvel had to do that. People did not care. I read comics. I cared about Iron Man.
Right.
People did not care about Iron Man. People didn't really care about Captain America. No one cared about Thor.
But people still don't care about Thor.
People still don't care about Thor.
Loki's a favorite.
Yeah, Loki.
favorite
People like
son.
Loki more than Thor.
Yeah.
But Batman,
Can you blame him?
Yeah.
Superman, Wonder Woman, I'd go as far as to say The Flash and even Aquaman. I don't think you need to do solo films. You can.
Right.
I think it's recommended.
Right. I think DC right now, they're catching up right now with Marvel's putting out. And it's almost like, all right, we don't have time for solo films, so we're going to introduce these new characters in an interesting way, and we'll focus on solo films later. Let's get them all in this big Justice League movie, because that's what everybody wants right now.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to give it to you, and then, if you like these characters, we're going to put them in solo movies. So as far as, what do you hope to see in the future for DC? We saw this movie. What do we hope to see next? I know, without giving away too much.
If this Wonder Woman movie starts in World War II,
I think it's World War I, actually.
World War
Yeah.
I, I'm down. You got my money, DC. Also, if Netflix does the question show, I'm just putting it out there. You call me.
That's a good point. I'd love to see that. The question, yeah.
I know it's incredibly down the line, but I'd like to see a Flashpoint-esque kind of.
Ooh.
Okay.
They might add parts of that into Justice League Part 1 or Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, but I like to see more of what I'd actually like to see some solo movies and like bring up things in those solo movies that will culminate in like bigger team ups.
Okay.
I don't know.
I agree with
Well, I'm sorry. After the break, sorry, quickly, after the break, Batman v Superman is not the only films out there that have a huge showdown. So we're gonna get into just slightly touch upon other movies that have a similar showdown in movie history. So after the break.
Experience, the sea, art, lifestyle, travel. This is Seek to See More.
Welcome back, everybody. Like I said before the break, Batman v Superman is not the only film to be having this massive showdown. There were other films before it, and we're going to talk about briefly about some of them. Two of which are a little bit not human, I guess.
Not human?
We have two monsters, King Kong versus Godzilla. I think that
The Batman versus Superman of the day.
the Batman or the Superman of its day, people love monster movies. Universal was coming out with all their monster movies. They had, that's Frankenstein and they had their horror genre. But I mean, definitely King Kong was definitely a staple, and Godzilla in its day was definitely a staple. And then when they put those two characters that go against each other, just huge monsters going at it. It's very similar to Pacific Rim. Big robot, big monster. We want to see them fight. Similar here. Your thoughts?
First off, I don't know why this is even a versus movie. King Kong has opposable thumbs. It's going down.
I didn't think it was going this way.
Yeah. I thought you meant like this was a dumb movie. No. There's not even a fight. He has thumbs. He does not.
No.
One's a monkey, the other one's a lizard.
Why is this even a question? Look, I got it. You saw the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I know how it ends in my heart. King Kong drags Godzilla.
They actually did two different versions of like who would win at the end.
Oh man!
So,
King Kong won both.
There's
Each one wins one.
because it's taking a staple American and a staple Japanese character fighting him. They released it in Japan and America, and in the American version, King
The
Kong.
American one won, and then the Japanese one. The Japanese one won.
Oh, well, that's just going with your critics, your fan following.
Yep.
If anyone's rooting for you, it's like rooting for a football team. Just because I live in Florida, Miami's gonna win. But then if you live in what's the other team? Jacksonville. Then
Also Florida.
Or also Florida. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Florida wins either way.
Go Florida.
Yeah. So moving on from King Kong and Godzilla, we have kind of a build-up that's been coming in for a long a span of 8 movies. Harry Potter versus Voldemort, the person who may not be named. I think I said that wrong, but he who should not be named, right?
You shall not.
Yeah. Okay, you got it. All right. Cool. I just
whatever.
forced to you, whichever one knows the. Either way,
Yeah.
that span in between 7 books, 8 movies. It was introduced in the first movie that this mysterious guy. And then we get him in the 4th movie. He's actually shown. He's no longer a rumor, and then this big showdown at the end of the 8th movie. That's like something that everyone's waiting for back in 2011 when this movie came out.
And I really like that build up for movies. This is different than like King Kong versus Godzilla or Batman versus Superman, where like one is clearly representing good and the other is representing evil. They're not quite on that equal footing right there, where like a lot of people like to see that clash. But I think build up was a very like important part about wanting to see these two. I mean, that poster, that's 8 years of them wanting to.
Well, more than I think it's like over 12 years.
Oh, right. Sorry, not 8 years. 8 movies.
No, I'm sorry. 10 years. 10 years of movies. 2001 to 2011. 10 years of waiting.
And it's 10 years following our heroes as they go to fight the ultimate evil. That's even bigger than like the Avengers to me. Because you see Iron Man, you see Thor, but this is like we're staying with these characters.
Exactly. Especially grew up with you over 10 years.
If you go with, like,
and that's something that I think is important when they're coming up to come into a conflict.
Right.
And that's something that we're seeing now. We're seeing it with Batman versus Superman. We're seeing it with Daredevil season 2 with Punisher and Daredevil coming together, and we're seeing it in Civil War with Iron Man and Captain America. We have this like trend right now that it's happened in the past too, of course, but it's like this specific year. It's interesting that we want to see our heroes fight each other.
Right.
And I think that might be because it's an election year.
That's a good point.
And I feel like that's kind of, we're seeing people on the same side fight each other, but they're trying to, in the end they're trying to, they'll represent their individual parties.
Exactly.
We're seeing Trump and Cruz fight. We're seeing Hillary and Sanders fight.
Right. Yeah.
But it's I think that's just what we want to see right now, and I think it's cool that it's permeating both politics and entertainment.
Right, it definitely relates to the real world. You were gonna say something earlier?
I can't remember.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And lastly, before we get into it, probably another popular one was Luke versus Vader. Definitely a popular one that they were all. Definitely like for at least in the first movie, Vader was a huge success, and then we actually get to see that showdown in Emperor Strikes Back, and then even on top of that, it goes into what later becomes in the prequels, Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan. I know they heard tales of that, like there was a huge battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and we saw that in New Hope that there was a confrontation. Now we get to see that confrontation come out.
Talk about build up. That's another one.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah.
It wasn't like
Final
people
thoughts.
were expecting that, like quite like, to end it all off the series. But I think it's I don't know, that was quite a conflict.
Yeah, definitely.
And just for a brief moment, can we say how cool Greek lightsaber Luke is? Because Luke throughout he's okay, but he shows that green lightsaber, he's just running through people.
The green and black, I like it. Yeah.
We're definitely loving all of this stuff, but that, unfortunately, is all the time we have for this. We're out of time. We're out of time. I know. But we thank you for everyone who's thank you, Chris Nielsen, Mark City, and Carlton Carter for joining us. We're all excited that this show is here, and I'm happy to come up with next week. We have more great content coming in next week, and I'm looking forward to it. So everyone have a good day, and I'll see you next week.
For clarity and truth had become a symbol of hope for the city of